what causes this. This is a biomechanical. First of all, it's multifactorial. Biomechanics, as well as structure. But I can feel. We will never understand, for the people out there, right, the entire world, how painful these lesions are.
Nothing can hide from us.
As everyone knows, we focus our efforts on prevention, and she would be an excellent candidate, maybe in the near future, for a minimally invasive procedure. The callus is a symptom of the underlying problem. To prove otherwise, there's a little bone, right, underneath it. They believe it's like a little bone spur. What we do is we basically shave it down. Once we shave down the problem, the symptom, poof, goes away. Oh, we got pus.
What?
So, we got pus. Poof, goes away. Oh, we got pus. So, we got pus. Which means that we may find, right, a possible foreign body in there.
Oh shit, dog.
And now I'm going to ask the patient, have you stepped on anything?
I think so.
Oops. The cat just popped out of the bag. I think so. So now we're going to hunt for a possible foreign body. I apologize. Jason, I just want to make sure you are in no pain. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, I'm going to kind of go like this. This may be a little uncomfortable. Please let me know, okay? So I like to use this technique. Basically coming from the inside out. Because sometimes putting more pressure from the outside, kind of like this, will create more discomfort. You see there's a pocket here. You're doing great. See, come around.
Probably a piece of glass, I bet. Okay.
It's over here, the pocket. I'm trying to give you guys a... How you doing?
All right.
You okay? No discomfort, right? Okay, good.
Hello.
We're gonna go ahead.
What is this? Is this the skin? Yikes, bro.
When did you said you might have stepped on something. When was that?
Early part of this year, I think.
Early part of the year?
And I've been looking something grinding it for the last 3 years. I mean, the last 3 months. Let's just start poking out like this.
Okay.
I know.
Would you like a little bit of local... There we go. Would you like a little bit of local anesthesia?
No, I take it. I'm gonna take it out.
Some people, for the entire world, when we do these procedures, you know, we uploaded a video that for a while ago, and it was basically we did it, gave the patient the option. We give patients options. Would you like local anesthesia? And some patients say, I'd rather not. The minute that they hear an injection, but
I'm scared of needles, this one.
patients scared of needles, so you know, then all of a sudden I get a tsunami of comments of why didn't you not know, right? That I'm not sensitive, but that's not the case. See, you know that. I'm a crap, you know. So let's continue. We're getting, I'm gonna go ahead and stand up now, I think. You're gonna better. So now we have to find out. I apologize. And again, I want to be very clear with everyone. Patient has chosen, has opted, does not want any. We're gonna kind of just again. It's sensitive because we're now down to the level of what we call subcutaneous tissue here.
Sorry for putting you in danger.
You sure you don't want to know?
A few minutes later.
Okay, so the patient has had a very quick change of heart. So we just infiltrated a little bit of anesthesia. Yay! Okay. Patient, any discomfort here? Discomfort? Okay, good. So now... What are we looking for? We're looking for a possible foreign body. You're doing great, by the way. So let's focus on this area which is numb. This is numb. Am I correct?
It's something you just hit in my feet.
I'm sorry?
Something you just hit. Whatever you just did, that's what it's at. The area right there.
Okay. Oh. I think we found the problem. Okay, so I think I feel... Maybe. Let's see here. Would you like a little bit more local anesthesia?
No.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I think we found the issue. There is a foreign body here. And what we have here is a foreign body, and there was an abscess as a result of the foreign body. There's something called a foreign body granuloma. It's basically a cocoon that the body creates to protect itself. It creates this cocoon around the foreign body because the foreign body does not belong there. And in addition to that, that's why at the beginning when I said it looks like a volcano, right? And we started saying that maybe there's a bone spur. There was a little bit of a detour. Okay? So let's... This is it right here. This is it. If people are wondering what it is, it looks like it's a real... There was a little bit of a detour. Okay? So let's... This is it right here. This is it. If people are wondering what it is, it looks like it's really, it's firm. Again, it's not off. It might be some residual glass. Do you recall stepping on glass? Yes. The patient is saying yes. And again, take a look there. So we have to really and just a friendly reminder to everyone, this has been present since the beginning of the year. Dr. Wagner, why did the patient wait so long to go see someone? I'm sorry? The pandemic.
Hey, where's home?
So, the good news, foreign bodies out, number one. We basically drained the abscess, and we're going to implement local wound care. The patient will have a little bit of a difficult time walking, just because it's on the bottom of the foot and it's kind of like, you know, it's a little bit of a defect. But the patient came here at the right time. This could have been a lot worse. And the patient has no diabetes, which is great. As always, www.jobspodiatry.com Instagram, Dr. Tojan, Jobs Podiatry Facebook, and last but not least, our YouTube channel, Job Self-Care. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the patient for allowing us to do this little video. Really appreciate it. And as always, Caesar, back in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, wear shoes. It's not worth it. Whether it's a simple bougainvillea form or glass. Have a nice week.
Wait.
Excuse me.
What was that? Hold on. What do you see, Enkidu? Hold on! Please! There!
What? Die! What are you doing?
Hold a moment.
Okay.
I need your eyes, my friend.
What the heck, man? This is like... This is a glitchy mess. Not Circle City, baby. Around City, really. Oh, mama, so pretty. What'd she say? She said, okay, be safe. Very excellent. Oh, I like the bike. Oh. Okay. Okie doke, have fun, my man. I like the color of the bike. It's a baby blue. Oh, and who the hell are these weird people? Oh wow, what's wrong with her? Dennis gets her foot worked on? Yo man, why you tickling her, man? Ew. Dennis gets her foot worked. Hold on, man, that ain't right. How many kids does Chris Evans have? One child. That's over there, said 12. That junk man. That junk man.
That junk man.
And check out this, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I like this one because you don't really see that much Close Encounter merchandise. Craft Masters. I know, it sounds like some kind of ninja. You're like, oh, Junkman's going to tell us about some ninjas? No, we're talking about those art sets. It was a poster pen set. It comes with a poster and some pens so you can color it. It was a lot of fun. Usually based on a hit movie, television show, fun characters that you grew up on, toy lines, all kinds. They made these in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Probably still make them today. But I was surprised at how many they did. I mean, G.I. Joe. There's even a couple guys on here that like to do jive talking. There's all kinds of them. probably didn't look at them. I probably could have found more if I spent a little bit more time. And sadly, the Star Wars format crap master not showing you Star Wars. That's something else. Fun of it. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time walking up.
life in the 1920s.
Life in the 1920s.
Did people really kill themselves in 1921?
Did people really kill themselves in?
Did people really kill themselves in 1921?
Did people really kill themselves in?
But what would follow a rise, other than a dramatic and crushing fall? At the start of 1928, the end of the Roaring Twenties, the economy in the United States was sitting pretty, with further progress on every horizon. Wall Street admittedly saw a minor stock market crash in the spring, but things quickly balanced back out, and people were happily ignoring any further signs of trouble to come. By the journey, with mass numbers of the American population having increasingly been investing in the stock market, some people were more attention to the falling and volatile prices. Stocks were being sold at a faster pace now. What about Black Thursday on the 24th, the day that the market crashed by 11% and Americans frantically hoped to sell what they had while they still could? Over the following days, the market continued to plummet and panic was on a chaotic rise. Monday, October 28th, would see a 12% drop, and the next day, Black Tuesday, would mimic the Thursday before. Americans were losing money by the millions, and trust in Wall Street was all but non-existent. Corporate and private wealth was affected by the ongoing crisis, which sent the American economy off the rails. Now, however, many economists and historians look beyond the chaos of Wall Street itself and point the finger at what the Federal Reserve did before the actual crash. It was the Federal Reserve, less than 2 decades young, that had cut required reserves to only 3% and permitted massive monetary expansion over the Roaring Twenties. If you have soldier gears, you can deploy them in battle. But summoning this way is very inefficient. Connect with digital gears. This will make your summons far more efficient. Combine gears of the same type to upgrade them. You can even produce double the soldiers. Build stronger formations. Secure victory and conquer levels faster.
Hi, we're Charity Water. If we lost you at Charity, we get it. Give us a moment to change your mind. At Charity Water, we're known for telling great stories, but we're big believers in numbers too. Like this one, 750. That's how many people worldwide currently live without access to clean, safe drinking water. As a result, 4,400 lives will be lost today, and again tomorrow, and the day after that. It's a big problem, massive, really, but we know we can solve it. To do that, we need to make every
experts say that it was these actions that caused inflation and the eventual crash of the stock market, which the Fed reacted to by cutting the money supply and essentially dooming banks across the country. Thus, when the winter of 1930 triggered a new wave of hysteria and startling bank runs, hundreds of American banks proved unable to pay out and miserably collapsed. The U.S. government was hesitant to react, as President Herbert Hoover believed in minimal government intervention and felt that the situation could resolve itself. This stance would hold until the following year, but Congress had other plans. In fact, Congress had already reacted. On June 17th, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act had been passed with the goal of protecting the United States economy by imposing colossal duties on over 800 foreign products. This decision by Congress would prove to be one of the most catastrophic attempts at stunting the Depression, and quite frankly, only accelerated it. Dozens of countries already affected by the consequences of America's economic collapse seeping out from its own borders chose to retaliate, working with the American tariffs to effectively slash foreign imports and exports in the United States. As the Depression was only worsening now, Herbert Hoover finally chose to react, saying that the situation wouldn't be turning itself around anytime soon. President Hoover subsequently made multiple decisions that he believed would put the economy on a better track, such as implementing increased taxes and increasing federal spending by nearly 50%, which also brought about the creation of the Reconstruction Finance Corporation. This being meant to provide loans to struggling banks. Hoover was hoping to give the economy a bit of a kickstart and the stability to keep prices high, which in turn would keep wages from dropping. But this meant little to the 15 million or so unemployed Americans and the growing thousands of closed banks across the country. People were growing hungry, hopeless, and angry with their government's failures. It then comes as no surprise that when the next presidential election rolled around, a new face was elected to solve America's looming problem. In 1933, Franklin Delano Roosevelt won the presidential election in a landslide. Franklin Roosevelt, dubbed FDR, had run his campaign on promises to provide aid for the impoverished American people and find a new solution for the nation to move on its way triumphantly out of the Great Depression. His inaugural address after the sweeping election victory would become widely remembered for his famous quote, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." And it was this attitude that would follow him throughout his efforts to recover the economy and public trust. FDR's calm, attitude would serve a much-needed purpose during a time of such panic, and he would utilize this fact through his live radio talks that would become known as his fireside chats. His goal with these talks was to keep the American public. If I could call myself a champion, maybe House Targaryen might take me in. Targaryens, the tyrants. How couldn't I die?
Have your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free, plus get your biggest refund. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. No schedule except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, and student loan interest. File now.
But in the loop on everything that he and Congress were up to, and how they planned to act. Particularly, there was an important focus on Roosevelt's New Deal. The New Deal was a string of domestic policies and programs with which the president promised to take a method and try it. If it fails, admit it frankly, and try another. It was a reassurance to the American people that something was going to be done, and things would keep being wanted to do. In the initial period, deemed the first 100 days, Congress got to quick work passing new laws and programs, including the Federal Emergency Relief Act, the Agricultural Adjustment Act, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Civilian Conservation Corps, and the National Recovery Act, amusingly shortened to the NRA. These actions were focused on boosting the economy by supporting programs for the poor, providing government subsidies to farmers as a way of increasing prices, regulating the stock market, providing more young workers with government jobs, and controlling prices, wages, and unions. These moves seemed promising, but they were only the start of FDR's ambitious plans. Later efforts in the second wave of the New Deal would include the Wagner Labor Relations Act, the Fair Labor Standards Act, the Work Progress Administration, and famously, the Social Security Act. With these acts mainly focused on getting the workforce back out there and protecting the employed, the Roosevelt administration was both pushing to a better economy whilst also aiding the American people in doing their part. The problem with this New Deal, however, was that the Supreme Court often opposed it. By 1937, FDR was growing fed up with the resistance to his ideas, and he looked to fix that by packing the Supreme Court. This faulty conclusion turns much of the public against Roosevelt, and Congress proved unable to make it happen. Regardless, many economic historians doubt that Roosevelt would have resolved the Depression anyway, even if the opposition to his ideas had been dealt with. Some go as far to say that FDR did no better than Hoover. He simply made the same changes on a larger scale. One big difference, however, was the move by FDR to remove the United States from the gold standard, which thus far had impacted the economic downfall by slowing export demands. Still, one study by economists at the University of California found that Roosevelt's New Deal actually lengthened the Great Depression by nearly a decade. However, many will heatedly debate that it was FDR and the New Deal that actually put an end to the country's economic woes, and quite a few economists are part of this group. Whether the New Deal thus worsened or ended the Depression is not known for a fact even today. But one thing that numerous agree was the final boost America needed to get out. That was World War II. If the GDP and lowered unemployment are to be the metric, it's asserted that the Great Depression had come to a complete end by 1942. Unemployment, though, is a bit tricky to judge when 16 million Americans were suddenly called upon to fight in the global warfare. So, while international trade and certain demands saw an increase throughout the fight, private sector production dropped by around 50%, taxes spiked, and the general quality of life was on a decline. It really wasn't until after the Second World War concluded that a true light at the end of the tunnel could be seen and reached. But this, nevertheless, leads many to credit the war for the resolution. Even today, we can't pin down one specific act or event that ended America's greatest economic collapse. We also can't say for certain what caused it. The stock market crash, Smoot-Hawley tariffs, and even the gold standard can be attributed as having an effect on the downhill sprint the U.S. economy took toward the Depression. But it's not possible to blame just one, or even to blame only those factors. Doing so would be no different than claiming that World War II resolved the crisis. It's just not that simple.